Why did civil war guerrilla warfare cause logistical nightmares? Imagine trying to run a large army while constantly fighting an invisible enemy hiding behind every tree and building. That's what guerrilla warfare did during the Civil War. It wasn't just about battles. It was about disrupting everything that kept armies moving smoothly. Guerrilla fighters used quick, sneaky tactics like ambushes, raids, and sabotage. They targeted railroads, bridges, supply depots, and telegraph lines, anything that helped armies get their supplies and communicate. When railroads were destroyed, it took longer to send food, weapons, and reinforcements. That meant delays and shortages, which could slow down entire campaigns. Small guerrilla bands often attacked supply trains or isolated garrisons, forcing armies to divert troops from fighting to guard their supply routes. This made it harder to keep the front lines supplied with food, ammunition, and medical supplies. Civilian involvement made things even more complicated. Neighbors and local residents sometimes supported guerrillas, hiding them or giving them information. That blurred the line between friend and foe, making it tough for soldiers to tell who was helping the enemy. The constant threat of surprise attacks created a climate of fear. Commanders had to send soldiers to guard supply lines instead of fighting on the front. This stretched their forces thin and made operations less efficient. Guerrillas also operated in rural and remote areas where large armies rarely traveled. This meant armies had to spread out over wide areas, increasing their logistical challenges. They needed more wagons, more men, and more time to cover these distances. During the war, Union generals like Philip Sheridan responded by destroying crops, livestock, and buildings to cut off guerrilla resources. They also used harsh tactics to protect railroads, which were vital for moving large amounts of supplies quickly. Confederate leaders like John Singleton Mosby led raids that disrupted Union logistics, but these tactics also made it harder for the Confederacy to keep its own supply chains intact. In short, guerrilla warfare caused major headaches for logistics because it attacked the very systems that kept armies supplied and connected. It forced armies to spend more time and resources protecting their supply lines, which took away from their ability to fight on the battlefield. This constant threat and disruption made it clear that irregular fighters could shake up the entire war effort, not just through direct combat but by attacking the backbone of military operations.